Yo, what's going on, guys? It's Sonico back with another video, and today I'll be talking about the top 5 saddest moments in Danganronpa, in my opinion. What I mean by that is that the saddest moments in this list are ranked by how sad they made me. So if the character I like died, then that would be a sad moment for me, but not for everyone. Like some people, it might be sadder, or you might not care at all. If any of the moments on this list weren't sad for you, what would you replace it with? I'd love to know. Also, spoilers for all the main games in this video, you have been warned. Okay, so this next thing I'm going to say is only for long-time viewers, so if you just came to this channel from this video, then skip to the current timestamp. So, if some of you have noticed, I've been doing a lot of Danganronpa content lately. That's because I've gotten so obsessed with it, and making content's really fun for me. Of course, if there's any content you want me to make because you aren't enjoying the Danganronpa videos, leave a comment and I'll try to make you happy. Alright, let's get into the list. Number 5, Kaede's goodbyes. So before I got into Danganronpa, Random Fun and I were on a call. I don't know exactly what we were doing, but he was playing the 4th Danganronpa chapter in V3. After I finished what I was doing, he shared his screen and we did the 4th class trial together. So when I started V3 and saw Kaede as the protagonist, I knew she would die or something would happen and Shuichi would take on the role as protagonist. That's the reason this is number 5. I knew this would happen, but it makes me sad thinking about this scene because Kaede tried to kill the mastermind and ends up killing Rantaro and regretting her actions. The cherry on top is that because Kaede's execution is the first one in V3, it shows her getting pulled into the execution like for Leon and Teruteru. The thing that makes this one part of the execution sad is that when she's getting pulled away, she reaches out for Shuichi who tries to save her. We know what happens next. Because I saw this coming, I have to give it the number 5 spot. Number 4, Kaito/Kokichi body discovery. The reason this is sad is because I thought it was Kaito during the body discovery clip thing. I was eating some crackers and chilling, then boom, I think Kaito's dead. I dropped my crackers and I had to take a breather because I didn't expect this. I should have known Kaito would die though. I know it was really Kokichi, but I had barely any hope that Kaito wasn't dead yet. This was really more of a shock to me, but it's the only body discovery that really made me upset. I don't have too much to say, but this is the 4th saddest moment. Number 3, Mondo and Chihiro's backstories. So recently, I've been replaying Danganronpa Trigger Happy Havoc, and I finished the 2nd trial, and I'd forgotten about the backstory part that happens after. If you forgot, it talks about why Chihiro pretended to be a girl and why Mondo killed him. The thing that made me sad was for 2 reasons. One, because Mondo is the only one to kill someone on impulse. Now you might say Hiyoko or Angie was an impulse kill, but I don't think that counts. 2, for Chihiro's backstory, at one point he repeats the thing he hates about himself, how he thinks he's weak. He repeats the word about 5 or 6 times or something, and the same thing with Mondo, except he repeats the word strong, because he has to be strong to lead his biker gang. Both Chihiro and Mondo could have helped each other so much. This explanation just makes me sad whenever I think about it, and if you want to try and find a video or something on the backstory scene thing, because my explanation about it is pretty bad, but it does deserve 3rd place in my book. Number 2, Chiaki's reveal as the traitor. So, I liked Chiaki from the start. Not just because she was the ultimate gamer, well, I guess yes for the 1st chapter, but after Mihiro's death and Chiaki starts to really take the situation seriously, she became the Kyoko of the game, and I just really liked Chiaki. I had my suspicions on her being the traitor because it just made so much sense, but I was clinging on to the hope I had left for it not to be her because I knew Chiaki would die if she was. Then Chapter 5 class trial happened, and Chiaki reveals herself as a traitor. The things that make me sad about this scene is that everyone but Hajime doesn't believe her. The difference between the 1st and 2nd game was that everyone in the 2nd game were all attached to each other. Even in the 5th class trial, everyone was still a bit uneasy about working together in the 1st game. So everyone in Danganronpa 2 just can't accept the truth. I really felt like Hajime in this situation. Chiaki says to Hajime to convince everyone she's the traitor, and Hajime responds with, "You're basically asking me to kill you." I've been thinking the same thing. I didn't want to accept the fact that Chiaki was the traitor, but I had to. That's what I really like about this series. I can really relate to the characters sometimes, and I feel what they're going through. I do think Chiaki had a good execution, but I'll never play Tetris the same way again. Before we get to the saddest moment in Danganronpa for me, I just want to say some honorable mentions. Gundam's execution, Ibuki's body discovery, Warriors of Hope backstories, Taka's reaction to Mondo's death, Gonto's reaction to being the killer, Maki and Kaito's goodbyes, Hina's reaction to Sakura's death. Anyway, now to the number 1 spot. Number 1, Fuyuhiko and Peko's goodbyes, plus Peko's execution. I didn't care about Fuyuhiko in the beginning, I just thought he would be like Byakuya for the 2nd game, but when Chapter 2 rolled around and we learned about he and Peko's relationship, we see a whole new side of Fuyuhiko. If you don't remember, Peko and Fuyuhiko were raised together. Peko was a tool given to Fuyuhiko by the Kuzuryu clan. To Peko, she thought she was nothing but a tool to him. Of course, we know that's not true. Now, I wasn't really sad until right before the execution began and we get to this last exchange and dialogue between Peko and Fuyuhiko.
Please, Peko. Don't go. I need you. Don't leave me.
Young master? Young master!
I can't with this scene. The voice acting in this one scene is just so good. It does a great job of making you want to cry. I felt so bad for Fuyuhiko when I thought he died in the execution too. I was freaking out because it was in that moment I liked Fuyuhiko, and I felt like Hajime in that situation as well. Now, why is Peko's execution part of this? Because this execution was my favorite because it's the only one that really toyed with the victim emotionally. If you don't remember, the execution starts with Peko being surrounded by Monokuma samurai. Peko begins being really cool and attacks them all with her sword. Fuyuhiko runs into the heated battle wanting to save Peko. At one point, one of the Monokuma samurai appears behind Peko right in front of Fuyuhiko. Peko turns around and slashes it with her sword, as well as Fuyuhiko. After the execution is done, we learn that Peko only slashes out and Fuyuhiko lives. But for Peko, she thinks she killed him, and that's her final thought. I just can't believe that the writers made a scene with two characters I barely liked into two of my favorite characters from one scene. This really is such a good chapter in my opinion, and I just love how well it was written. Were any of these your saddest moments? Let me know in the comments. Also, I want to say thanks for the support on the Nagito Kokichi Evil Laugh class video. It's been a while since I had a video do that well. By the way, we are really close to 100 subs, so if you want to support the channel by subbing, that would be great. I've been making a lot of Danganronpa content lately, and lots of you seem to be enjoying it. I hope you all have a great day, and I'll see y'all next time. Bye everyone! But after my hero's death, and Chiaki starts to really take the situation seriously. But after Mihiro's death, and Chiaki starts to really take the situation. After Mihiro's death, and Chiaki starts to really take the situation. But after Mihiro's death, and Chiaki starts to really take the situation.